What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all are doing well. Look, these past couple videos I've been like, I don't know what's going to top Olympic track and field, and then like the very next day there's some crazy race that happens, and once again we had some crazy finals today. And we didn't just have one final, we had multiple finals. We had the 110 hurdles for the men's final today, we had the women's 400 meter hurdle final today, the men's 200 meter final today, and then we had the women's long jump final today as well. And let me tell you, all four of these did not disappoint. They were all pretty good races. Well, pretty good is probably an understatement. They were all good races. But let me tell you how the U.S. showed out today in all four of these. So just going to talk briefly about each one of them, just kind of give y'all my breakdown. And of course, get y'all thoughts and opinion on how you thought all of these races went on today. So starting off, let's just jump into the women's long jump final. Tara Davis Woodhull ended up getting gold. Jasmine Moore of the U.S. also got bronze. And just watching the women's long jump final today, Tara came out just from the very first jump. She just looked really good today, and that showed. I think her furthest jump was 7.10 meters. But like I said, just from her first jump, you could tell she was in good shape. She's gonna have a really good competition. She ended up dominating this field, and she just did very good with this one. The long jump final, like I said, it was a really good competition. Just watching all of them, you had I think it's the German athlete that got second overall, but Jasmine was right there on Tara until Tara went past 7 meters. And I think she was the only one who went past 7 meters. Don't quote me off the top of my head because I don't remember. But like I said, she just looked really good during this competition, and she just had an outstanding Olympics for the long jump. Now, moving to the men's 110 hurdle finals, and of course the favorite was Grant Holloway. And Grant's been rolling this year. I'm not gonna lie, like all of his races he's looked really good. And I know he was trying to get his gold in the Olympics, which he was successful in doing today. Grant ended up winning, and then Daniel Roberts had a absolutely crazy lean at the finish line to get second over Jamaica. I can't remember the Jamaican runner's name, but Daniel Roberts got the silver. Look, Grant looked great on the hurdles today. He shot out there, and I'm not gonna lie, Daniel Roberts had a crazy start off the line in the 110 hurdle final, but Grant ended up just like he normally does, just pulls away from everybody. And you could almost tell he was trying to be careful going over like the back end of the race, just being safe, getting over the hurdles, making sure that he cleared each one fine so that he was safe and didn't knock anything over. But look, Grant looked really good going over the hurdles. It was a really good race, and he just dominated like he's been doing these past couple rounds and just these past couple races that we've seen Grant running. Now, let's talk about, let's talk about the women's 400 meter final. Now, the 400 meter hurdle final. Now, this was built up to be basically Sydney Mclauglin versus Femke Bol, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really ready to see this race. I feel like it was going to be another world record. As y'all know, Sydney Mclauglin has been killing the 400 meter hurdle world record. I think the past like 6 races she's ran have all been world records. She slowly dropped that time, and today she ended up going 50 point. I think it was 50.53. Don't quote me. It was a new world record that she ran today, and I'll put the time up if I can find it of what she ran. But yeah, it was another world record today, and honestly, the race did not unfold like I thought it would. Like I knew going in, I knew Sydney was going to win. That was my prediction on what was going to happen, but I did not expect Femke fading off like she did in the final 100, to the point of Anna Cockrell ended up getting second in the race, and then Femke Bol ended up getting third. And the U.S. almost swept the 400 meter hurdle podium. Like if you gave them another probably 10 meters, we would have got gold, silver, and bronze in this race, because Femke faded off that badly. She ended up running a 52, but basically going into the 250, coming out of the curve at the 300 mark, Sydney basically just pulled away from everybody and just took off like she normally does, and just ended up dominating that final 100 and just looked amazing doing this race. Like I said, you kind of had an idea it was going to take a world record to win today, which, in all honesty, it probably wouldn't have taken a world record. She could have ran her normal race and been fine. But she just absolutely dominated this field. And then Anna Cockrell ran a great race today. I did not expect her to get second. I figured it was going to be Sydney, Femke, and then it would be Anna Cockrell getting third. But she ended up pulling out second place, which is great to see. She ran an absolutely great race today, and it just really worked out for her. She's been rolling as well over the hurdles, so it was good to see the U.S. get 1 and 2. But overall, I think the 400 meter the 400 meter hurdles for the women's was really good race. I'm glad Sydney was able to win. look, all right, now let's talk about the hot topic today, I feel like, and that is the men's 200-meter final. Of course, Noah Lyles is going for the double up, which is the 100-meter gold and the 200-meter gold. And you had a pretty good field with this 200-meter final. Of course, Arian Knighton, Kenny Bernard, Leslie Tobogo is in there as well. You had a pretty stacked field of guys who are all capable of winning this race. And this race did not unfold like I expected it to. Now, first and foremost, Leslie Tobogo won the race. He got the gold. Kenny Bernard got second, and then Noah Lyles got third. After the race, like, if you just watched the race, Noah Lyles didn't really look like his normal self running the 200, and then you see him after the race, he's basically like almost collapsing on the ground, asking for water and everything. It turns out Noah has COVID, and he had COVID 2 days prior. Now, I will say before, if you watched like the intros and everything before the semis of the 200, Noah had a mask on, which I was like, that's kind of weird because you normally don't see him with a mask. And so it just kind of led me to believe maybe something was going on. And then you started seeing rumors of Noah being sick and he may not run the 200. Well, it turns out Noah has COVID, which is hard on the respiratory system as it is trying to run a 200, especially after you've exerted all of your energy running a 100 and trying to win that race. So it was already going to be a lot for Noah to win the 200. Now, Leslie Tobogo ran a great race today, and he's had a rough year in track and field. His mom passed away earlier this year, so it was nice to see him get the dub today. He ended up dedicating the race to his mom as well. Look, he looked great today. It was Botswana's first ever gold medal, and it was, I believe he's the first African to ever win the 200. So shout out to Leslie Tobogo. Look, like I said, he looked great today. If you watched the race, he shot off the curve. Him and Kenny were right there, and then he just pulled away from Kenny. Kenny also ran a good race. I figured Kenny was going to podium and get a medal. Kenny's been on Noah all year. They've been really close to each other running the 200, so you just had an idea that Kenny was going to want his give back, especially after the 100 meters final. I'm positive Kenny was just ready to go. So overall, like, the day itself was just really good. It was several good races today. Tomorrow we have the 4x1 final, so that'll be interesting to see. We also got word that Quincy Wilson is going to be running on the 4x4, so that'll be interesting to see as well. It's going to be interesting to see how things shake up as the rest of this Olympics goes on. It also sounds like Noah Lyles may not be running on the 4x1 based off his Instagram post. So it's just a lot going on with the Olympics that we're going to have to wait and see what happens as things unfold. But look, like I said, I'm not going to say it again because I feel like tomorrow something crazy is going to happen again as well. So it's just going to be a wait and see to see how things go. But let me know your thoughts on today's Olympic events and what you thought about all of the finals that went on today. But I appreciate y'all for stopping in, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.